whole. September 5th every year to commemorate the birth anniversary of Dr. Sarvepalli Radhakrishnan, a distinguished scholar, philosopher, and the first Vice President and second President of India. Dr. Radhakrishnan was also a renowned teacher, and his commitment to education and his belief in the importance of teachers led to the establishment of this special day. The significance of Teachers' Day in India includes 1. Paying tribute to educators. Teachers' Day allows students and society to express their gratitude and respect for teachers who are pivotal in shaping the future of individuals and the nation. 2. Acknowledging the importance of education. It serves as a reminder of the significance of education and the role teachers play in imparting knowledge, values, and life skills to students. 3. Fostering teacher-student relationships. The day encourages students to establish stronger bonds with their teachers, creating a supportive and nurturing learning environment. 4. Reflecting on the teaching profession. Teachers' Day is a time to reflect on educators' challenges and the need for continued support and recognition of their efforts. Teachers' Day celebrations in India typically involve a variety of activities, including 1. Felicitation. Schools, colleges, and educational institutions organize special events and functions to honor their teachers. Students often present gifts, flowers, and greeting cards to their teachers as a gesture of appreciation. 2. Cultural programs. Students organize cultural programs, including dances, skits, and songs, to entertain and delight their teachers. These performances showcase the talent and creativity of students. 3. Awards and recognitions. Some educational institutions and organizations present awards and recognitions to outstanding teachers for their contributions to education. 4. Thank you notes. Students write thank you notes and letters to their teachers, expressing their gratitude and their teachers' positive impact on their lives. 5. Classroom celebrations. In many schools, students bring sweets and snacks to share with their teachers and classmates. This creates a festive atmosphere within the classroom. 6. Inspirational speeches. Teachers may deliver inspirational speeches or lectures to impart wisdom and guidance to their students. 7. Teachers' Day parades and marches. Some regions organize parades and marches featuring teachers, students, and educational institutions to celebrate the occasion. Overall, Teachers' Day is a day of appreciation, reflection, and celebration in India, dedicated to the individuals who play a crucial role in shaping the nation's future through education. It reinforces the importance of teachers and education in society and promotes a culture of respect and gratitude towards educators.